Hey Raghunath, tell everyone about our Patreon community.
Sure, Kastuba. The Wisdom of the Sages Patreon community is an incredible online yoga resource. If you like the type of yoga wisdom and culture we share on the show, then our Patreon community is a great next step. This is a listener-supported podcast, and any level of sponsorship will unlock a wide range of live and archived classes, talks, and even workshops.
Raghunath teaches, I teach, and we have a host of other excellent teachers on topics ranging from yoga philosophy, asana classes, storytelling, Ayurveda, kirtan, cooking, meditation, and a lot more.
We even have an incredible online Bhakti 12-step recovery group.
So if you want to check it out, go to patreon.com/wisdom of the sages.
All right, let's get it on.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
From Cana, New York Town Park, this is Wisdom of the Sages, a daily yoga podcast with your host, Raghunath, and co-host and senior educator. Welcome to Mara's car. We're here in Mara's car because our internet is not working because of the rain. I don't know why internet turns off because of the rain.
You're a little choppy even now, Raghu.
Oh, we're hot spotting from her phone. This is the best we got.
All right.
Yeah, this is better than the gas station.
We'll work with it.
Okay. How are you, Kastuba?
Pretty good. I went to the Bhakti Center last night. It's Jul and Yatra now, Raghunath.
Yeah, it's the time to swing the deities.
Yeah, we went up on the roof of the Bhakti Center. They bring little Radha and Krishna up there, put him on a swing. This is Vrindavan mood, right? Swinging Radha and Krishna.
You have to walk through that threshold. We like to explain. People come to the show. They heard me on Joe Rogan. We have to explain spiritual philosophy. Sort of makes sense. We're not a body. We're spirit. We're all connected. There's one God. There's one truth. Every religion's trying to find their way back to God. It's all philosophically makes sense. This stuff is next level. This is stuff is like, side. I believe, and Radha and Krishna, we're going to take them off the altar. We're going to put them on a swing, and we're going to swing them back and forth like a little child.
So joyful.
This is it's incredible. All this stuff, when you walk through that threshold of I believe this stuff, it's all incredibly joyful. You just got to get past your own skepticism.
Okay.
But if you're already past that, you're in bliss. If you're not past that, it's about to get real weird. It's about to get
It's like the roof of a building in Manhattan turns into Vrindavan, through the song, through the mantra, through the mood, through the ritual.
Well, if you think, and I remember this within Christianity when I was growing up, I was like, Mom, what do you do in heaven? And she would say things like, heavenly things, there's no good answer. You get to eat whatever you want or stuff like that. But there's loving relationships with Krishna. And what do you do in a loving relationship, even in the material world? You push your child on a swing. That's joyful and fun and sweet. And that's what you're actually doing. You're actually training yourself for the spiritual world. It's quite esoteric, yet quite simple to understand. And the interesting thing is you actually get attached to Krishna by doing these activities.
And not only that, everybody does it together, right? In other words, it's like when I said that the roof of a building in downtown Manhattan turns into Vrindavan, what that means is that everybody that was on that roof, they had the Vrindavan mood, which is like we're all together loving one another, loving Krishna and Radha, right? It's in other words, there's a center to this equation now. You go down the stairs and you go out into the sidewalk, and suddenly it's like there's a billion centers. Everybody's the center of their own world. You go up on that roof, Radha and Krishna are the center.
There's one center.
Everybody's around them, and you just everything just falls into place, and it has there's a certain harmony that's created through that's very satisfying, and then there's an esoteric beauty to it that takes it to another level.
It's hard to understand. When I was new to it, I didn't get the deities. I didn't understand it. I could say, okay, they are the focus. We're supposed to be focused towards God. I guess they represent God. This is how I thought back then.
Okay.
So when I heard they do stuff like, wait a second, they're offering incense to this statue. Wait a second, they're dressing the outfit. It all sounds so foreign, so almost a little bizarre. But when you've crossed that threshold, you don't understand. Dressing the deities is one of the most ecstatic things you could do. It's like, did you ever? Yeah, you dress deities, right?
Yeah,
It's incredible because you feel like I'm dressing Krishna, and you have to put your head in Krishna's head. Like, what do you think Krishna would like to wear today? What kind of turban? I don't think that one works well with him today. I think let's try. It's like a mother caring for a child, and that caring for the child, like trying to get a diaper on, trying to, put the pants on a child. The child's kicking. In that, like getting the child dressed, like sometimes a parent takes good care of really dressing the child nicely, and you develop more of an affection towards that child. This is how you develop love of God, actually. It's through these simple practices. And this is, how long does Julian Yatra go for? A month?
No, it's like 4 or 5 days. I think this
4 or 5 days?
This year it's only 4 days.
Okay. So
today's the last day.
Oh man, I missed it. I have a swing. We should put my deities on a swing. Anyway,
swinging.
It's the swing festival, the Julan festival. It's quite exciting.
Raghunath, I wonder what's the shirt you're wearing there. What's that all about?
Oh, like that? Got Seva with a cow on.
Got Seva or Go Seva?
It doesn't say Go Seva, but that's a good idea. I'm gonna bring that to the creators. That was created by Yoga Soul Nashville. If you want one, just Instagram Yoga Soul Nashville. Got Seva with a cow on it instead of got milk. Got Ahimsa milk. It could have been that.
Okay, now I understand. I thought it was Go Seva, and it showed a cow. It's Got Seva.
You know what? That would have been smart too. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna bring it to the creators. Got Seva, Go Seva.
We've got
some milk.
In unique nugget. So let's before we get to, let's move over to Mara and see what the announcements are today, because today's thing is like
just comes in.
There she is.
We only have one mic today. We're really slumming it in the car today.
All right.
Yeah. We have back to recovery group meetings today at 1 and 9:30 p.m. And Mangala Chitra Devi is doing a slow flow asana class this evening for our Patreon members at 6 p.m.
All right.
What?
And the show's at 8 a.m. all week.
Shows at 8 a.m. all week and weekends.
Week long. So Raghunath, instead of a regular nugget, we talked yesterday about putting you to the test.
We're really going to do this again? I'm going to put you to the test.
Not again. We're going to do it for the first time.
Okay.
Don't worry. It's not. It's just this is called absurd trolley problems.
Okay.
And we're going to ask you a question of or a series of questions that basically will help us understand how your mind calculates morality, I suppose. What's right and what's wrong in any particular given situation.
This was so creepy yesterday. You were like, will you kill Mara or your son?
No, you took
Which one will you kill? You have to kill one of them.
Well, that's where it comes
6
down
a.m.
to.
because it's 8 a.m. Kostuba.
Well, yeah, this is what we got. But I think there's some important lessons that we could learn from this too, and there's some connections to what we talk about. Yep, there is. So this comes from like a some kind of meme that someone created, and basically it's like it shows like line drawings, very simple, almost childlike line drawings, and it shows a trolley and it's moving straight down a track, and on that track there's like 5 people tied up lying down on the track.
We're going right back to this analogy. Okay.
But then there's also like a track that diverges from that, where there's only one person tied up lying on the track. And then it shows off to the side a person, and that's going to be you, Raghunath, okay? Off to the side, there's a person, and they got like a lever in their hand,
Yeah.
And they have the ability to divert the trolley off the main track onto the side track. And so I'm going to read you a series of like 20 or something questions, different
To
scenarios.
find out what a sociopath that I am.
Well, we'll see. And to find out in these different scenarios, would you pull the lever and divert the trolley? Okay. So the first one is the one that everything's based off of. It's the one that got the whole thing started. And it says, oh no, a trolley is headed towards 5 people. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, killing one person instead. What would you do? And let me just dig a little bit deeper into this. In the first scenario where you don't pull the lever, you've done nothing wrong. In the second scenario where you pull the lever, you have chosen to kill someone.
That's a good point too.
Okay, so I just want to throw that out.
Good morning,
there.
everybody.
Yeah. All right. So, Raghunath, what do? Do you pull the lever or do you not?
Oh, I don't know any of the people.
You're just basing off what I've said so far.
I think I'd pull the lever.
So you're going to pull the lever and intentionally. Let me ask you a question. What if I phrase it this way? Let's say there's the same thing. There's a trolley headed towards 5 people. And otherwise, there's a person standing against a wall. Someone comes and puts a gun in your hand and says, you go up and shoot the person in the head. Otherwise, I'm going to drive this trolley over these 5 people. Does that change anything in your mind? Because
it does a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, it's pretty much the same thing.
It is. Well, yeah.
Right. It's pretty much the same question. But it kind of highlights the fact that you are choosing to kill someone.
Yeah. I was looking at saving people.
Yeah.
And, I think that these questions or the answers might change depending if I could see the faces of the people. Well, like if there was like Mao, Hitler, Mussolini, Stalin.
Well, we're going to get to those kind of questions.
We're really going to continue with this?
Yes. So you're going to choose to pull the lever. And
you got to go through my kissing one after this.
We got to go through this relatively quick because there's a lot of questions. But I just wanted, on the first one, I wanted to throw.
Yes,
okay. I would. So essentially, what you're saying is that there's a principle of permissible harm that states that you can harm someone if that harm is part of a larger aspect of good.
Sure. Right? It's like it's like a general in the battlefield. Sometimes you risk losing your own soldiers at the cost of gaining ground and a bigger battle. You risk a battle for the entire war. And
of course, Vidura argued based on this principle during the dice match.
He argued also when Duryodhana was born.
Same thing both times, that he could foresee that Duryodhana was going to, that this one person was going to his behavior would be so destructive, heinous, destructive, that he would bring the deaths of so many people.
He said, kill Duryodhana.
And he quoted Kavya, the sage Kavya. Do you know what he said exactly?
Yeah, he said, he said, first of all, he told his father, you should kill your son immediately. He said, my little baby, why would I kill him? He goes, for the sake of the family, you can kill the son. For the sake of the town, you can kill the family. For the sake of the kingdom, you can kill the town.
Mm-hmm. And then there's another part to that too. And to save the soul.
You can what?
Well, this is the way that I have it here. To save a family, abandon a man.
Okay.
To save a village, abandon a family. To save a country, abandon a village. And to save the soul, abandon the earth. Which isn't,
I like abandon better than kill.
It should be nothing that we should be not willing to let go of. But so you're arguing more or less like Vidura here. You're going to save 5. You will choose to kill 1 rather than be inactive. And in doing so, you'll save 5. You pull the lever. And statistically, 73% of the people agree with you, Raghunath, on that one.
Okay. Good. I mean, great. The popular vote would also.
Next one. The trolley's headed towards 5 people. You can pull the lever to divert the track, and now it'll only kill 4 people. What do you do?
4 versus 1.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
same.
5. You don't do anything. You just go your merry way. 5 people get hit. You choose to kill 4 people instead.
I'd still do it.
Okay, you can pull that lever. Okay, you agreed with 66% of the people agreed with you on that one.
Okay.
Next question is, the trolley's headed to 5 people. You can pull it, and otherwise, but if you pull it, you lose all of your life savings. What do you do?
Yeah, I think I'd pull it.
You're gonna
I
pull
don't
it?
have much saved.
Okay. Well, 61% of the people agreed with you, which means 39 people said, I'll keep my savings.
All right.
All right. Next one is the trolley's headed towards 5 people. You can pull the lever to divert to the track, sacrificing yourself instead.
Here's the deal. I'd like to think I would,
Okay.
but when it
But in
came
the
right
moment, you're
down
not
to
sure.
it, who knows? Who knows? Well, who
Okay.
knows? People say a lot of things to virtue signal. This is like the Hunger Games. This is what's going on right now.
Okay.
That other TV show that was popular on Netflix, Squid Games.
Squid Games. Well, so you're gonna say, at least theoretically, you would like to say that you would pull the lever.
Theoretically, I'd like to pull the lever.
Okay. You are how heroic of you, Raghunath. Only 40% of the people would do that.
Because now we're gonna have you do it.
Yeah. Because there's a train headed right towards your car right now. 40%, only 40% say that. Interesting.
It's almost like you got to be careful what you pray for. This actually could come true.
You think of the
This,
people, like
hour
these
of
people, like
intention.
on the Titanic, that said, "We will go down with it." You know,
Yeah,
and
it's
give you
pretty
lots of space on
amazing.
the boat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, here's another one, Rhoda. Pull the lever. Don't pull the lever. 5 people get crushed. Pull the lever. They're saved, but you destroy the original copy of the Mona Lisa.
Just destroy it.
Raghunath.
I never even liked it.
Okay.
I'm ready to glue myself to it for a global climate change.
Okay. Well, 76% of the people agreed with you on that one.
Okay.
Okay. Interesting one here, Raghunath. The trolley's headed toward 1 person this time, but he's a rich person, wealthy man. He's got a little top hat on and a mustache.
And a monocle?
No monocle.
No monocle, okay.
You pull the lever. He's willing to offer you $500,000 to pull the lever. If you pull the lever, just one anonymous person dies. So basically, 1 person dies either way. But if you pull the lever, you get $500,000, and the man that offers it to you lives.
This is trying to draw out the evil in me.
Well, what you gonna do, Raghunath?
I think I would just let it go at that point.
Okay,
I
you're
wouldn't
gonna
want to
do
get
nothing.
implicated in it. Wouldn't get
Okay,
implicated.
you
in
don't
it.
want to get implicated. Okay, fair
They're
enough.
both tied to the train track, and one guy's going, "I'm rich. I'll
So
give you money if you pull it."
in a
No, I wouldn't.
yeah, in a sense, you don't know if you've done any good, and you're implicating yourself.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Raghunath. I'm with you on that one. Yeah, sorry, rich guy, you go down. 49% of the people agree with you. 51 would have taken the money and implicated themselves.
Karuna, who's 10 years old. Look what you're bringing out in Karuna. She said, "I would control my senses and kill the rich man." But Stuart, where are you taking with us on this squirrel?
Okay. Well, it's gonna go somewhere, but I think these are interesting questions. Let's ask just a few more, okay?
Okay.
5 lobsters are on the track. You can pull it and kill 1 cat.
Well, you know I'm a cat person. You know I don't.
Quick,
like
you have to answer. The
lobsters.
train's going. Quick.
I'd kill the lobsters.
Okay, you do nothing. You kill the lobsters. 15%, 85% agree with you, Raghunath.
It's a type of prejudice. I admit that. It's a type of prejudice. They're just ugly and they're bottom feeders. And my cat sleeps with me.
The
in
cat may
bed.
have a higher level of awareness, arguably. I'm not sure. And speaking of
Yeah.
higher level awareness, that leads us into the next question. 5 people are lying on the train sleeping. They will feel no pain.
Okay.
Or
Okay.
pull the lever. One person who's gonna feel pain. He's wide awake.
So if I do nothing, 5 people get it.
Yes.
Maybe I'll just let that go.
You're gonna let
Well,
5
no
people die
pain,
instead of 1? This is the same question as we had in the
you know
first
what?
one.
Here's the deal. Here's the deal, though. I'm not implicating myself, and you know what? It's not a bad way to go. There's no
Okay.
pain. There's no morphine.
All right. You don't
You
pull the
know, just
lever.
wake up. They're dead.
Well, this people were pretty evenly divided. 48% of the people agree with you, but you're in the minority on that one.
Okay.
Oh, 5 people are tied to the track, but they've intentionally tied themselves to the track.
They want to
And
commit
then
suicide.
Yeah, apparently. And then on the other track, there's one person, but he got there accidentally.
I'd be the one who wants to live. You get points for the will to live.
So you don't pull the lever. You let those people that want to commit suicide, no matter what state of mind they're in and what brought them, what circumstances created it, how they might respond in future life, you're going to let them die because they chose to.
Yeah.
Okay, do nothing. 79% of people agreed with you on that one. Okay. Let's maybe we leave it there. Okay. Now, I
Now that
think
everyone's lost all types of respect for me.
no, I think there weren't necessarily exactly right or wrong. I think it does illustrate that it can be difficult to determine what is right or wrong in any particular circumstance. But you know what caught my attention, Raghunath?
What?
Was I saw a meme, because people have developed tons and tons of memes off this original meme. Right?
Right. Really? I've never seen this.
I hadn't seen it until...
You could do so many interesting things. Paramananda, who's straight edge, would you drink a beer or kill a cat? You got to do one of them.
Okay. So now, but here's what I saw: a meme that said it was the same exact style of art, right?
Okay.
And it said, "How you imagine the trolley problem," and it was exactly as it was presented. There's 5 people. There's one person, and there's a guy off to the side, and he's got his hand on the lever, and then it says "you" with an arrow pointing to that guy that's off to the side.
Okay.
But then it says how it's actually going to be, and it showed the same exact scenario, except it wrote "you" and it had an arrow going to one of the 5 people tied on the first track. And I thought this is very interesting because as you're going through that whole thing and answering all these questions, you're doing it from this removed. It's like, yes, there are horrors in the world, but they don't affect me.
Yeah.
Right? Time isn't going to crush me. The train's not going to crush me. Death is not coming for me. I'm this person that's off to the side. And it's kind of sad that it might affect these other people, that they may be affected by some kind of tragedy in life, but that's not me.
Sure.
But the fact is, that is us, right? And going back to Mahabharata, you know, when Yuddhisthira was asked by the Yaksha, what is the most amazing thing, right, in the world? And there's so many ways that you could answer that. And he answered it by saying, hundreds of thousands of living entities meet death at every moment. But a foolish living being nonetheless thinks that this won't happen to me. This is the most amazing thing in the world. And I think
thought I was going to say like the Grand Canyon, the most amazing thing.
Could have been anything, right?
Oh, it's really amazing.
There are so many things to say, but that is a very interesting way to put it. In other words, it's calling us to say, hey, let's get real for a second. Time is moving very fast and I'm lying on a track and a train is coming for me. What is important? Right? What is important? Or do I just allow myself to just be distracted throughout life by seeking pleasure, by trying to avoid pain, by trying to find some comfortable situation? Do I become so absorbed in that I neglect to realize, hey, the train is coming for me? Am I thinking about that? Am I considering that? Am I doing anything about that? Because just like it's coming for everybody, I'm not the guy with the lever. I may have some free will to adjust things in this world, but there's something that I'm unable to adjust. Is that train's coming? What's my response? Right? What's our response, Raghu?
Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narotamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudiraya. We've been practicing this.
We did. That was your spontaneous. That was cool. Right? Okay.
Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances to the Supreme Lord Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, to Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayeshva badreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtaki. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome to the heart will become eradicated, and loving service to the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, will be established as an irrevocable fact. Om Gyana Timarandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Midatam Dena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance. My teachers are opening my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my obeisances at their lotus feet. You know, you could have done a whole Krishna conscious.
I knew your mind was going to be on something. Yeah, okay.
You could have been like,
what, a Prabhupada disciple is standing there, and a pure devotee, someone from another sampradaya is standing there. And who do you offer the lamp to first?
None. Who do you offer the lamp to? No, I was thinking like you have the opportunity to see young Krishna, childhood Krishna, or Krishna in Dwarka. Who would it be? 76% of devotees say young Krishna. You can see Radha Krishna, or Krishna can stroke your hair.
75% of Gujarati
that
Krishna
would be a fun thing to do.
75% of Gujarati bhaktas choose the Dwarka Krishna.
Want to see baby Krishna. Whereas the South Indians want to see the Lord Vishnu. Go figure. That would have been a fun little quiz, and it would have left us a little brighter. Well, now I'm just thinking of squished bodies on train
You just
tracks.
Want to escape the truth, and let's look at who we're reading from.
No,
now
I just don't want to meditate on things unless. If I'm in an
aren't you the guy that this is why I collect skulls and walk in the graveyards? I thought this is your thing, man. What happened?
Yeah, but that may. Yeah. That's a good point. It's like first thing. I do like those things, but usually after 10 o'clock. First thing in the morning, listen to a lecture, listen to some Krishna Leela.
Well, hold it, Raghunath. Let me ask you a question. Before the show today, did you go to Instagram and look at Nature's Metal?
I didn't, but I did go to dash cam footage.
You see? So there you go.
It just came up. I didn't look for it. It just came up.
Well, you know that it's going to come up when you open up Instagram. But here's my point,
yes, Mara, stop agreeing with him with everything.
That you do follow dashboard cam disasters or whatever.
I think it's important to understand the precariousness of driving.
Okay.
Well, that's our point.
When you open up Instagram in the morning, that's what's going to come up.
But then I very quickly listened to a lecture.
Okay. Well, now here's my point, Raghunath, is that Ajamila was going through life.
Oh, you're ignoring it in. Very good. Very
ignoring the truth that he knew. He knew that death was going to come eventually. He was getting real old. Still, he wasn't doing anything about it. And he knew that karmically he had a lot coming his way. Still, it won't happen to me. Right?
You never think it's going to happen to you.
Yeah. But only when he was faced the Yamadutas, he woke, okay, something's got to be done. So now Yamaraj is instructing the Yamadutas, giving the advice, giving the clarity of what is the meaning of all these Vedic teachings. Where do they all lead? What's the real essence of it all? It's not to cultivate good karma. It's not to try to eliminate bad karma through atonement. There's a whole nother world of Dharma, Bhagavat Dharma, direct connection with love, a heart full of love for God. That's where it's all going. Once someone starts to turn to that, practically all of the mechanisms of this universe step back, because you've entered into a new realm of Dharma. And that's being clarified through this. Okay.
Yeah, when you're really in God consciousness, it's like live or die. I'm okay. I'm God conscious if I'm alive, God conscious when I die.
There you go.
And if you're not in it, it's just like forget about death. Try not to think of death.
Right. Okay, so in text 22, we're in the 6th canto, 3rd chapter. Yesterday we read text 22. Why don't you just read that text? We won't necessarily go back into the commentary, but why don't you just read that, because that was kind of like a a real landmark kind of verse there.
Devotional service beginning with the chanting of the holy name of the Lord is the ultimate dharma for the living entity in human society.
Ultimate dharma.
That is mic drop.
Yeah.
What's the ultimate dharma? Chanting the holy name.
It's right there.
Well, me and Mara were on a japa walk yesterday, and we're like, and we were like, well, if this Krishna consciousness stuff is true, we're right on. We're spot on today. We're chanting the holy name. Yeah, we referred back to the Ajamila story. It's like, okay, we're doing it. We're chanting the holy name. It might not be perfect. It might not be pure chanting, but we're doing it.
Well, now hold it. You see, you have to be real careful there, Raghunath, because if you're thinking, so it doesn't matter what we're doing because we're chanting, we're nullifying our bad karma. That is exactly what Ajamila wasn't doing. Right.
I wasn't thinking of it like that. I'm saying we're chanting the holy name.
Okay, this
is a good thing.
All right.
I like to frame it out like that sometimes. Like if all this stuff is true, meaning like
really,
it still leaves room. It still leaves room for
even if it's only like a 10% chance, it's probably worth it. Right?
Well,
one of the questions we didn't get to.
What else are people doing with their life? It's not. I don't feel like bhakti has me missing out on life.
No.
If anything, it's enhancing my life.
Yeah.
Even if it's not true. I like to look at it like that. Even if it's not true, I just like bhakti. It's fun.
Okay.
We got a good thing going here.
We got a good thing going. Let's keep it going.
We got good food. There's good people. There's good songs, right? There's exotic travel.
And there's great verses like this next one, text 23.
Text 23. My dear servants. There's beautiful poetry, right?
Yeah.
My dear servants.
Oh, and this is beautiful. Listen to the affection. How affection. These are ogrely, horrible looking creatures, and Yamaraj is this handsome, man. But hear how he's speaking to them.
My dear servants, who are as good as my sons. Just see how glorious. Just see how glorious is the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. The greatly sinful Ajamila chanted only to call his son, not knowing that he was chanting the Lord's holy name. Nevertheless, by chanting the holy name of the Lord, he remembered Narayan, and thus he was immediately saved from the ropes of death.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Therefore, it should be understood that one is easily relieved from all the simple reactions by chanting the holy name of the Lord and chanting of his qualities and activities. This is the only process recommended for relief from sinful reactions.
Okay, that's a statement, right? Vyasadeva is saying here, I recommended other stuff earlier, but really, this is the only recommendation I'm giving you. This is it.
Even if one chants the holy name of the Lord with improper pronunciation, I do that sometimes, he will achieve relief from material bondage if he chants without offense. That's a big statement.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when you hear Sanskrit people chanting Hare Krishna, it's like much different the way I chant it.
Different than you?
Yeah. A Sanskritist, they're very like, it's just more eloquent and more refined. I'm chanting like a child. It's not, hitting the nail on the head as far as pronunciation goes.
Yeah, I
We say
remember
there's more intention there's more potency in the intention. This is what this verse is saying.
yes, that's correct. That there's power in it, even that there's power in the name, and if you don't have a wrong intention, it's you receive that power powerfully. There's that question. You know who broke this down nice was the spiritual scientist. Where does the power in the mantra lie? Right? Because when we read about, and later on, later on in this canto, it's such a great story. We hear about how the priests of Indra were trying to chant mantras to get no, it was other priests that were trying to create a beast to kill Indra, but because they chanted the mantra just a little bit wrong, that beast killed the enemy of Indra, right? And it illustrates that when you're doing this karmics, when you're back on that Vedic level of trying to chant the right mantras and do the right rituals to get something of this world, your precision becomes very important. If you chant it even just a little bit off, you may not only not get the effect that you're looking for, you may get the opposite effect. Anything's possible. Right. But when you chant, when you move out of that early Vedic kind of paradigm and move into Bhagavat Dharma, those kind of things, it's the intention that's important. It's not the precision, it's the intention. Krishna sees the intention. Krishna, he like Krishna will say in the Bhagavad Gita, he begins to speak about this kind of dharma when that sixth chapter, when he says, you know what, for that person, for my devotee, I preserve what they have, I carry what they lack. I get personally involved if their intention is right. It's no longer all the automated karmic, the automated karmic machine of this world, its workings. They're not important for the one that turns to Bhagavat Dharma. Right? And all the details of that become insignificant. Okay.
I lost my spot here.
Okay.
24?
We had stopped in the middle of 24, I think. Okay. I think it's now you're at.
I'm just going to read 24 again. I'm going to read 24 again because it's so powerful. Therefore, it should be understood that one is easily relieved from all sinful reactions by chanting the holy name of the Lord and chanting of his qualities and activities. This is the only process recommended for the relief from sinful reactions. Okay. Even if one chants the holy name of the Lord with improper pronunciation, he will achieve relief from material bondage if he chants without offenses. Okay. Ajamila, for example, was extremely sinful, but while dying, he merely chanted the holy name. And although calling his son, he achieved complete liberation because he remembered the name of Narayan. In the in yoga classes and teacher trainings, they always bring in some arrogant Sanskrit guy. It's just like, I love this verse. They're like, you're pronouncing that all wrong. It's not Adho Mukha Svanasana. It's Adho Mukha Svanasana. You know what I mean? That arrogant Sanskrit guy.
And it's not that we're against learning Sanskrit. It's a beautiful language. There's so many important, but actually, it can be the beginning of your downfall. Once you start learning, it can lead to pride. It can lead to arrogance. It's
interesting.
It's not at all uncommon.
Even these Vedic arts, kirtan. You could actually be doing it just for your ego. You could be doing deity worship for your ego or being a pujari for your ego. All these beautiful, refined Vedic arts can all be done for your ego also.
Yeah. And learning in particular, is like it can really lead to arrogance. And
therefore, wisdom of the sages, we say, don't become educated.
I was walking down the street yesterday, Raghunath. Who do I bump into?
Who?
Pradyumna Prabhu.
The most learned Sanskritist, maybe in the
but a
Western
humble soul
world, but a humble spiritual devotional person.
Yeah, just had just standing on the street corner, just chatting away with him is just awesome. It's just the sage walking around, learned sage.
We really bonded when he came up here.
Where's your yoga friend, Raghu? Where is he now?
You know what you know what is a nice way to look at senior devotees is don't mistake their friendliness for you being their friend.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Right.
Accept it as a blessing.
With,
as a
with
kind
senior devotees, they may appear friendly. That doesn't mean they're your friends. That doesn't.
Okay.
You don't treat them
a different type of friend. It's a different.
They're in one sense your best friend. Like me and Kostuba are friends, and we have respect for each other. But at the same time, when you're dealing with senior devotees, you can't transgress certain just laws of etiquette because you'll interrupt the flow of bhakti. You always treat them and guru, and you treat them with the greatest honor, and they sometimes become friendly to you.
Yeah.
Don't take advantage of that friendliness and just slap them on the back. No, it doesn't fly.
Good point, Raghunath. Good point.
Just
Don't call them by a nickname. Don't just certain things that you do with in a more casual relationship.
With a buddy.
Yeah.
Keep it in your heart.
Yeah.
Keep it in your heart of hearts official.
Yeah. Good point.
You know?
That's how the flow works.
Yeah. Bhakti is a flow. It's like a waterfall. Don't dam it up.
Yeah, like if the water's flowing down and you say, let me go up, then it's not going to hit you. You're going to miss it.
You're going to dam it up.
Yeah. Okay.
Keeping it sacred.
Nice point, Raghunath. Thank you. Okay, text 25, or is it 25?
Because they're bewildered by the illusory energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yājñavalkya and Jaimini, and other compilers of religious scriptures cannot know the secret, confidential religious system of the 12 Mahajans.
Okay, that's interesting, right?
We mentioned these 12 Mahajans earlier.
Yeah.
You know, Prahlad, Sukadeva Goswami, Bhishma Dev, Kapila.
Yeah.
Bali Maharaj.
So this is saying these are greatly learned sages.
Yeah, Yājñavalkya wrote the
Yoga
Sanskrit dictionary or something, right?
I'm not sure. I thought he did some famous yoga text. Jaimini, I think, what was his field of? He may have been
Jaimini.
Was it Jaimini Muni that's like the Karma Mimamsa philosopher?
I can't remember.
I forget now. In any case, these are greatly learned Sanskritists, brilliant philosophers, have written dense books on these topics. And but they
cannot understand.
They don't understand.
Value.
They understand so much about Dharma. They don't understand Bhagavat Dharma, right?
Because their minds are attracted to the ritualistic ceremonies mentioned in the Vedas, especially the Yajurveda, Samaveda, and Rigveda. Their intelligence has become.
You miss it. They cannot understand. They cannot understand the transcendental value of performing devotional service.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They cannot understand the transcendental value of performing devotional service or chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, because their minds are attracted to the ritualistic ceremonies mentioned in the Vedas, especially the Yajur Veda, Samaveda, and Rig Veda. Their intelligence has become dull. Thus, they are busy collecting the ingredients for ritualistic ceremonies that yield only temporary benefits, such as elevation to Swargaloka for material happiness. They are not attracted to the Sankirtan movement. Instead, they are interested in Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. So these are classic, Vedic rituals, Vedic thought. You know, when you do these Vedic rituals, so many ingredients have to be there. So many mantras have to be there. And it's a little bit different. The Vaishnavas are a little bit different. And I remember Radha Swami talking to us too. He pulled you and I aside one day after a wedding.
Oh, yeah.
After a priest did a very elaborate wedding, and he pulled us aside and he said, I want you two to start doing the marriages. I was like, Maharaj, I don't know any of these mantras. They're doing thousands of mantras before the wedding. He goes, it's not very important.
Keep it simple.
Keep it very simple. Prabhupada did it. He kept it very simple.
Yeah.
Get to the essence and explain it for everyone.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful to get an order like that from your guru, isn't it?
Yeah, the only thing with COVID came right after it, so we haven't really followed it out.
We haven't dove into that. We got to start marrying people.
Because every year at the eco village, someone would get married or someone would get initiated, and he just said, it's time that you guys start doing this, right?
Well, they'd bring in a priest, but it was because it was sort of like culturally obscure. No one even knew what was going on.
I think he was
that's what
saying because you guys are better at explaining it to your audience, right?
Yeah.
So then you should actually be doing it and explaining it as you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's just start marrying people today.
Who wants to get married?
Ella Barrick. Ella Barrick. I'm gonna just kidding. She's like, who's he gonna pick?
What?
Sorry, it's arranged marriage Wednesday.
Okay. Let's keep it let's keep it rolling here, Raghu.
Let's keep it going. Okay.
Oh, this is a main thing, keeping the main thing verse, text 26.
That's the main thing. Text 26. Considering all these points, therefore, intelligent men decide to solve all problems by adopting the devotional service of chanting the holy name of the Lord, who is situated in everyone's heart and who is a auspicious qualities. Generally, they never commit sinful activities.
Such persons are not within the jurisdiction for punishment.
Such persons are not within my jurisdiction for punishment. Generally, they never commit sinful activities, but even if by mistake or because of bewilderment or illusion, they sometimes commit sinful acts, they are protected from sinful reactions because they are always chanting the Maha Mantra. Again, this is not giving you a carte blanche to commit sin. This is saying people endeavoring on a strong spiritual, right? Ananya Bhak, what's the verse? Apichat Sudaracharo. Like you're going along in bhakti, but due to past behavior, you fall down. And then you get back up and you keep going straight ahead. Then it's like we understand, like this person is they're filthy and they're walking into the shower and they're scrubbing and they missed a spot. And they're going to keep scrubbing. They're still going to stay in the shower. So this is not giving a green light for like, okay, you're a devotee, you can do whatever you want. No.
Yeah, and Raghunath, in that 6th chapter, it's really interesting, right? It's in the Bhagavad Gita that this stuff starts to become really clear, where Krishna's like, you know what, Arjuna, you're all caught up in this kind of karma conduct Vedic thinking of, will this activity bring me good karma, or will this activity bring me bad karma? Let me consider it very carefully. And that's tied into this whole kind of Vedic ritualistic world. But there was a point in that 6th chapter of the Gita where Arjuna realizes, I don't think I can be there. He wasn't talking about becoming a karmi, like following the karmic principles. He was thinking about becoming a yogi, right? He was thinking about becoming like the type of yogi that wanders off into the forest and so on. But then he realized he couldn't become a yogi. It was like beyond him. The way that Krishna was describing it just seemed too difficult for him, you know? And Krishna begins to say, well, that's okay. You know, in that 6th chapter, he's going to begin to point Arjuna very directly towards bhakti yoga, saying that, you know, this is really the highest yogi of all. And, you know, and he expresses that for one who does that, for one who, you know, maybe you can't become this perfect self-controlled yogi. Maybe you can't control your mind like those yogis, but that's okay. If someone turns to me, you know, I maintain what they have. I carry what they lack. You maybe lack a peaceful mind. I will carry, I'll make up for that lack, you know, because you've entered into Bhagavat Dharma now, right? Where Krishna is giving personal care and attention like that.
Okay, let's do one more.
All right.
My dear servants, please do not approach such devotees, for they have fully surrendered to the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
All right.
They are equal to everyone, and their narrations are sung by the demigods and the inhabitants of Siddhaloka. Please do not go near them. They are always protected by the club of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore Lord Brahma and I, and even the time factor, are not competent to chastise them.
Very powerful.
Isn't that lovely? Even the time factor cannot chastise the devotees. All right.
Okay, we'll call it a day there.
8:57. Let's call it a day. Hello, Miss Mara. Are you still playing the game?
Yeah. I'm still here.
Yeah.
All right. I got some good takeaways today. You get attached to Krishna by swinging him.
Yeah.
Swinging,
swing.
not like swinging around, like not like on a swing, gently.
On a swing, gently, lovingly swinging.
There's Vrindavan in New York City when Radha and Krishna are at the center.
That's right. Oh, I like that one.
Oh, I like that. That's a Bhakti Center t-shirt.
Yeah. The train of death is coming for us all. We don't control the levers.
Mm-hmm.
Choo-choo.
Choo-choo. Chanting the holy name is the ultimate dharma.
That's right.
Bhakti enhances our life.
So many ways.
Oh, yes.
There's more potency in intention than precision.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
Don't dam the flow by mistaking a senior's friendliness for friendship.
It is friendship, but
it is friendship. It's just not. We look at them as our elders. They're acting friendly, but we're not their buds.
You know,
They're
one
just
time
being kind.
One time Radha Swami said something to me, like he was doing that with me, and he said something about, like, he either said like I was his friend or he was my friend in some way. I forget exactly how. And I said, Mars, you are my friend like Krishna is a friend. You know, in other words, like Krishna is a friend to every living entity. You know, I'm little and you're big, and your friendship to me is just like my blessing. You know, it's not like it's an equal thing.
Right.
Going back,
Yeah. That's nice.
Okay.
The time factor won't chastise devotees.
That's right.
Yeah.
And
What was that yelping? What was that?
beware the sneaky ego.
Sneaky ego?
I remember saying that. Who said
did we
that?
say Oh, sneaking?
Sneaking into the Vedic arts, and if you become intelligent, then the ego sneaks into all that.
I would have said, don't become intelligent.
Okay, stay dumb.
Stay dumb.
It is said that once you remain a fool
Krishna
before
loves
their
the
guru.
dumb. What's that?
It said that once you remain a fool before their guru.
There we go. That's a nice takeaway. Thanks everybody for joining us. Woo! Another fun way to start the morning. Hoping people are enjoying sleep in week.
We got a rainy day down
Sleep
here
in
now
week will
too, right now.
continue. Oh yeah, I know.
No, I like
Now,
it.
if you're in northern Florida, careful of tornadoes and hurricanes.
Oh, yeah.
And we got a big weekend coming up. We got a big packed out, sold out weekend at the farm. We're looking forward to Q&A day. Hey, you got some questions, email. We're going to have 2 days of live questions and answers. And if the lives aren't there, we're going to take some of yours as well. If you're coming, a lot of you guys are coming. Bring some questions. We're going to answer them live. And if you like what we're doing, Wisdom of the Sages, go to patreon.com/Wisdom of the Sages. Make your monthly contribution. It means a lot. This is how we're able to do this show and spend so much time. And guess what? We're expanding it. We're expanding it as much as we can. We got huge plans.
Big plans.
Our goal
we're moving.
is-
We're taking a few steps towards them now. I won't go into what they are, but we've actually made some, with the help of really good friends. We're making some steps forward now.
We want everybody to hear the message of the Bhagavat Dharma. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and share. Share this episode or any episode that sort of grabs you with a friend that you think is sort of like sitting on the edge. You never know. Some people are going through hell right now. And sometimes a little spiritual light can change their whole world. Thanks, everybody, for joining us.
It's a nice looking raincoat you got there, Raghu. It's a good one, right?
Thank you very much.
You look like you're ready for the weather.
Occasionally I wear something nice.